Hello, in this video I'm going to go over some of the new beta features in progress with Background Designer. So this is not released yet, we're still kind of in between alpha and beta versions, and there's been a few changes been made to make life a bit easier. Now initially when you clicked on a brush, you would come over here and it would show you a brush preview, but now the easiest way to do this is just to click the brush down, and then you can actually change the colours of that particular brush and any future brushes to those colours, and it just makes it easier to see what's happening in the view. And this is particularly good for the new pixel shader modes. So there we go, we've changed that one mountain that's been put down, and then we can continue to put more of those. So it's always the last plot that you put down that you can change. Sorry about the groggy throat. But yeah, you just want to change the things that you want to change for that last brush that you put down, and then you can carry on using that. Now that all looks great, but we can make it look better by changing the sky as well, and we can make it look even better by using the new pixel modes. So if you use this top slider, it goes between different pixel modes and different resolutions. Maybe show some detail of this in documentation, but this is yet to be documented. I'm just going to turn off the grid so you see it a bit easier, and I'll just press B to turn the brush off for now. So as you can see, this is very chunky pixels and really hard to see, you know, compared to that one. It's really hard to see what's going on, but you can use the dither range to help a bit. You can see how that kind of adds a bit more noise. There's also different dither patterns and so on like that, and you've got these different pixel blend modes which also help. Right, some are kind of darker than others. I quite like the last one because it's a nice mix of a few of the different blend modes, and it gives you a bit more color range. Now if you want to go ahead and change all the colors, you can actually press F3, and it will go into this mode where it's going to make everything adopt these new colors. So you can go ahead and change everything that you've brushed down to whatever you want. Right, and if you're happy with that, you can go ahead and press F4. So it tells you down here, all plots will be affected, use F4 to commit. Right, so now all of these brushes have got these colors, right, and any future brushes have got that. And then it's you back to normal, where you just edit that single brush. Now it's really hard to read in this mode, so I'm just going to change it to the next pixel mode. I quite like this one because it gives us a bit of range. So if you look down here, it says press F3 to change colours of existing plots. Existing plots are the brushes that you put down. Right, let's just bring on wrap mode so we can see our nice landscape here. I'm going to change this a bit brighter as well, and this one a bit darker, so we get a nicer looking sky. Cool. And maybe some plots down here. So I'll press F3. Now this will become a button later, make things easier. So F3 means we're going to go ahead and change the colours of things that are there based on their values. You can change the mixers, you can change the amount that they show, so that you can have it sort of transparent, and just kind of experiment with those and see what you get. But this is all kind of nice in the pixel mode, I quite like that. So bring it into new colours, and then let's see, change that to black. Let's go for a dark brown, a kind of mid brown. Let's bring these back up so they actually work, and then white, and that looks pretty cool, right? And you just paint as normal. You can put this back to this normal mode at any point in time, switch between different pixel modes. That looks nicer now. You can play with the dither range, you can play with the dither pattern. There's going to be much more of these modes and patterns and things being added, but they all just work right under each set. And you can see, don't like that one very much, let's go back to that. You can see how it all looks in these different pixel modes. I found a really nice image on YouTube, some music I was listening to, and I want to test that, so I'll show you how to bring in an image. Just click on the user categories, any one of these four. You guys get to use these, and when you initially opened up Background Designer, it asked you where do you want to save your custom brushes, right? So that's the folder that it saves these in. and you can clear them out and things. Now I've just been experimenting with a couple of my images. This is one that I made a while back, a little bit of fan art. I'll click that into place, and because I've clicked it down, I can now edit it. I can now change from the original settings to the new color swapped settings, so I can even play around with these values and get something a bit different, and you know, kind of play about with it a bit, and yeah, just have a bit of fun. And try it in the different pixel modes and stuff. Now this is an image that I made, but I was talking about an image that I found on YouTube a minute ago, and it's really colourful. I love this image, and I'm going to use this to test things because it's such a nice image. So this is it here. So I've clicked a space here and I find the file, and I'll call this test image, and just press B to enable the brush if it doesn't come on. It's came back on itself, and you can see it's wrapping around and whatnot as well. Right, so I just want to place this in place. Let's just bring it back to, yeah, we don't change this yet, right? We used to change this first, but now we change that second. We change that after. Just turn off the wrap mode just to help me place this. Right, and now I go back to the original tones, to the replace tones, but look how nice that looks. You've got this pixel art. You can change the dither range so it doesn't look as, you know, as obvious. You know, sometimes when you convert something to pixel art in Photoshop and you just get all this kind of grainy dither noise and it ends up a bit like that. Well, this actually gives you a bit more control of it so that you can kind of get away with it a bit more, and it's easier to do the manual work because it's not so noisy. Change the dither image. You know, there's different images, these nice little squares. These are kind of solid squares. This is just a nice kind of a loop pattern. It's very hard to see because it's so small. This one's like these dashes, kind of scan line effect. This one's kind of a diagonal roof slate sort of thing. These are pretty much diagonals. So I've just been making up these patterns and throwing them in. These ones are like little diamonds. So you see, if you bring this right up, it really just shows you that. It's just been overlaid, and it helps to make that kind of pattern. Right, and then you can change the pixel blends to get something a bit different. And yeah, you can make up your own pixel art from any images that you've made. If you've got an old painting or something you made traditionally, take a photograph it, bring it in, and yeah, just muck around with these. It's so nice, like, just to see how your art would look as a retro game style. So this dither image to the left here is kind of the best one. It gives you that bare matrix, the typical dithering. We can really see that there. And you can also right click on these layers, by the way, to make them fade out. So we can kind of like fade between the two images here and get something really abstract. So you've got loads of control between the tones, old and like the previous original tones, and the new ones. The pixel blending modes, you know, some are darker, some are brighter. They're kind of mixes. And yeah, you can right click on the layers. You've got your dither image, your dither range, and yeah, it's just everything's kind of done for you here. So when you're happy with that, you can pretty much just do Control S, and that's going to save that image out. So you can call this pixel art style test, right? And that is that. Now I could jump into Photoshop. Now there's the original image there. I'm just going to open the pixel art test one. Wherever it's tested, wherever it saved it. I cannot see it for the life of me. Let's try that again. Sometimes there's a bug where it doesn't save, and I'm kind of curious to why that is. So desktop. Let's just call this test pixels. Let's got to do a underscore. Let's see if that comes up now. Back into Photoshop and open. Ah, there it's there. Don't know why it didn't save first time, but there we go. And there you go, there's the pixel art version. I'm just going to scale it up to 1920 by 1080. You see that's a nice ratio, and I think it's just increase the pixel size. Let's do it with nearest neighbor. So image size 1920 by 1080. Let's do nearest neighbor, and we should get crispy pixels. I'm going to copy that over the original image. Whoops, what's going on here? Okay, it should not be doing that. Right, there is a bug. It should be making this brush disappear, and then see, this is why it's in beta, because there's loads of little bugs with it. Right, I'm just going to try and open that again. Okay, it worked better this time. And let's do image size 1920 by 1080. I'm going to copy that and paste it into here, and then you can see the difference between the two images and how nice that looks. And if you want, kind of go between the two of them to get a kind of somewhat mix. Yeah, whatever you like. I quite like it one or the other. So there you go, that's how you get really nice pixel art using Background Designer. I recommend buying the alpha version. So if you go into itch.io and support me here, I'm called Pixel Burner, and you see I've got a whole lot of other things here as well, sprites and models and things, but what you're looking for is this one here. It's $1. You can pay as much as you like. Recommend, you know, $5 to keep me happy, but $1 is perfectly fine. We're going to be approaching the beta release towards the end of the year. I want to do loads of work with it, give you much more bang for your buck. So even if you spent $1 now, you're still getting the beta access for that $1. Anybody who's not been able to, so that's going to change, right? It won't be $1 anymore when the beta is released. That dollar price is going to go, and the minimum you can pay is $5. Then there'll be a full release just a little bit after that. So the beta is really for testing in a wider scale, but feel free to support me by getting the alpha. You'll get access to the full version when it's ready. I'm actively working on this all the time. I really enjoy working on it and where it's going. I don't want to make it too feature crazy. It's not going to be a Photoshop replacement. It's just going to be just nice for making, you know, nice landscapes up. It does the wrapping mode, so you can get, you know, a kind of tileable effect. Obviously this image doesn't wrap, but you can definitely like do something like change it to half size. So let's see, our scale is 0.25 there, so 0.5, press X to flip it across the way, and you've got like a tileable image. Alright, can't see that so well, let's try that again. Let's put one there and one there, right? And there you go, you got a tileable image. Hold on, just click, just go down, there you go. You got a tileable image there. Let's change that so it's darker. You can pick one of the colors here, and yeah, and you got a nice wrapped image. You can change it to your different dithering effects and your pixel modes. A couple of custom color palettes. So what I've done so far is, this is the original mode, no restrictions. This one is Commodore 64. This is a theoretical Commodore 64 version 2, where it's got basically double the resolution and 16 more colors. Fixed palette, you can't, you know, change these palettes. All the palettes are fixed anyway. They use a special shader system to make them work. And this is the Sega Master System set up with the same pixel ratio and color palette from there. This is a made up one with 64 unique colors, and this one is 128 unique colors, completely different palette from this one, and it just does the conversion itself. There might be some other stuff needs done in the future with this to make it more user friendly and bring in your own color palettes and things like that, but that's pretty much for this video, and I hope you enjoy using Background Designer. See you soon, bye.